Hi, we're Richard and Jackie from Early Retirement Wanderlust.
We're in sunny southwest of France and we are heading north as part of our European road trip. So you can see from that we had 3 wonderful days at Biscarrosse-la-Plage, but it wasn't our original plans.
No, we were supposed to be going inland to Lac de Biscarrosse, which we've stayed at before in a place called Gasps. We got to the campsite, it was a municipal campsite, and actually it was really lovely. It was right on the lakeside. We spent about 20 minutes, we got everything out perfect. We got the awning out, I got my fairy lights out, which we've not done much this holiday.
We got loads of space, it was beautiful, the sun was cracking the flags.
And then we came under attack from, we don't know if it's just one horsefly type thing or whether there was 2 or 3 of them in the longer grass, and we were bitten to death. Both of us had 4 or 5 huge welts that just blew up within 5 or 10 minutes. So yeah, we decided we perhaps weren't going to stay there because we didn't want to be horsefly meat.
So we packed up, much to the amusement of most of the French people on the site must have wondered what exactly we were doing, but we packed up, and that's the freedom of being in the van, and we decided it was better to head to the coast. And all good things come to those who wait, and Biscarrosse-la-Plage, the campsite there, was just amazing. It wasn't our normal campsite.
No, it's quite a big campsite. We'd found it again through the Axi system. It was €21 a night, which isn't the most expensive site, and it was lovely. It was a really big campsite. There was loads of basketball courts and big swimming pool area, but when we drove round to the back, it was just like the kind of campsite we like round there with the camper vans.
Yeah, it had lots of static caravans and things like that, but this little corner, this little enclave, was just a really nice European site, and we settled in there for a good 3 days, had fun on the beach, and it was just really relaxed.
When we first arrived at Biscarrosse, we were undecided whether we should stay at the campsite or there's an air next to it. We opted to go for the campsite before we'd even seen the air, but actually had we driven around the area, we perhaps would have stayed there. It was in a really beautiful location. It was in the woodlands. It was just the other side of the fence from where we were actually camped. But when we looked into it, it actually was only €5 difference. And for that €5 a night, we got the advantage of the swimming pool, really nice hot showers, clean toilets. They did have toilets on the air, but they weren't the greatest.
And it's just a really interesting dichotomy to think about, because we automatically thought that going in the airs would save money, and yeah, it does save money, but in off-season, not a massive amount of difference. And they were like worlds apart. As Jackie said, it was a beautiful location for an air and a really popular air, but for €5 more, you got all the advantages of a campsite.
We actually were a little bit sad to move on from Biscarrosse, but we've headed north. We're now on the Ile de Oleron, which is a small island just off the French Atlantic coast. It's really, really lovely here.
On the way up, I was really keen, the nerdy part of me, to visit France's and potentially Europe's largest sand dune, the Dune du Pilat, which actually was geographically really interesting. A year ago, it had really, really bad forest fires around there, and driving up through there, the absolute desolation was quite shocking in terms of campsites being burnt out and things like that. So they've just been rebuilding, but they built a really good visitors centre, and it was a fair old hike up this big pile of sand.
It was really cute at the top. There was a primary school field trip, and there must have been at least 100 of them. And at the bottom of this, it was just row upon row of shoes this big.
So good old brave primary school teachers taking the kids up that. But yeah, it was beautiful on the way up here. And then we decided not to use the ASCII card, and we decided to go for an old favourite, which is the Camping Hootopia site.
This campsite's lovely. It's based in the forest. It is a little bit buggy, to be fair. We have been bitten a little bit. The weather's not been great. It's rained all day today. We did have a nice night yesterday. We went for a cycle ride to one of the biggest fishing ports in France.
We had a beautiful sunset, and then the storm came in the night, and we were awake half the night because it was just honking down, and it seemingly rained for the rest of the day. But out of every cloud comes a silver lining.
Yep, I've managed to read a book. I've had a proper duvet day, and whenever it rains, the thing that we have to do in the van is have bachelor super noodles, curry flavoured of course, for our lunch.
So after that, we've been out for a bike ride. It's been particularly wet. We went over to the other side of the island because the cycle networks on the island are absolutely amazing, so you don't need to go on any of the roads. And we went down to a lovely little artist community that have taken over some of the oyster sheds on the far side of the island.
They were all painted in really bright colours, selling really cute little bits of art. There was a really good artist doing marine life.
So that's us for today. We've actually booked in for another 2 nights here to explore the island because we've never been here before, so we're just keeping fingers crossed for better weather. It's absolutely beautiful now, so we might go and get a bit of a sunset, and then fingers crossed for a better day tomorrow.
Yeah, hopefully we'll get a bit of sun.
We've moved on and we are in the beautiful and sunny Ile de Ré.